So, one of the things I was just thinking about coming back from lunch is the fact that most people, when they think about addiction, think of addiction as something that's outside of them. Now think about it. We talk about addiction as if it is something. You have an addiction, right? Like it's an object, like you own it. And that it's something other than you that you have, right? And you don't. Nobody does. Nobody has an addiction. They have a habit that is internal to them. They have a preference that is internal to them. And where does this preference lie? Does it sit in your brain? Does it sit in your biochemistry? Does it literally sit somewhere as if it's something that's other than you? No. It is you. Your addiction is your preference, which is based in your mind. It's you. It's your thoughts. It's the ultimate form of mental masturbation. Literally. Literally. It's your own thoughts that are repetitious, based on a bunch of beliefs. Now, you can believe within your mind that it's a disease that's external to you, but then you'd be believing in something that isn't true. Now, when we believe something that isn't true, the crazy part is it becomes our truth. It becomes something we believe in. So in our culture, we have formed a straw man, something imaginary that we fear, called addiction. When the reality is, addiction is you and something you prefer habitually, over and over. It's nothing more. Now, I'm not saying that when you feel addicted, based on this misinformation that our culture projects, that it doesn't feel like a hopeless condition. You've been trained to think of it that way. You've been trained to think of it as a disorder, a disease, substance use disorder, right? These are all terms that we use to make this thing outside of ourselves. And if this addiction is, in fact, outside of ourselves, if it's something you catch or you get or you develop in your biochemistry, if that's true, then you're going to need it to be treated. Then you're going to need the industry of treatment to fix it. And what the Freedom Model shows you is that's a lie. It's nonsense. It's absolute total nonsense. Your addiction is your thoughts about a preference that you've developed because you like the sensation of getting drunk and high, and you might make that habitual. So, here's the good news. Since you have created your own quote-unquote addiction or habit, and it's a product of your mind, the answer is to change your mind. That's it. You get to change your mind. You could do that right now. You could change your mind. Now, if you're caught up in all the mythology that it's some sort of entity that you have no control over, well, then we got a lot of stuff to undo, to unpack, because you're believing in idolatry. You're believing in something that is factually incorrect. And those logical errors that you're carrying will continue to make addiction seem as if it's a force to be reckoned with, something you battle. And that's nonsense. So here's the good news. The answer lies within you. And in the Freedom Model, we talk about it. You don't need meetings. You don't need therapy. You don't need recovery. You don't need a trigger-free life. You don't need a therapist. You don't need a sponsor. You don't need a sober coach. You don't need any of that nonsense. It's bullshit. What you need is to make a decision about why you like getting high so much. How did you build this preference? What beliefs are holding you trapped that make you believe that this is something that you need in your life to be happy? And all of that is a product of your mind. It's a product of your beliefs. Not your brain, but your mind, your thoughts. Because what are you? You are your thoughts. Think about it. If you don't have thoughts, you're not alive. You literally don't exist. So you are your mind. You can change your mind. You can change your beliefs. You can change the construct that you have created within your mind that drives your habit. If you want to do that, we can show you how to do that. But you got to get rid of the myths first. You have to challenge the benefits you see in drinking and drugging. You have to challenge the benefits. Because if you leave the preference intact, you'll always desire drugs and alcohol. Because your belief system will support that. So we have to devalue the drug with empirical evidence. We have to objectively look at whether drugs and alcohol actually give you all the benefits that have built your preference. And then once we challenge it and we show scientifically that you have logical errors in your analysis and that you can see what drugs and alcohol actually provide for you, which is very little, then you won't desire them anymore because you're not going to desire something that doesn't serve you. And that's the answer. It's all in your mind. Information. Change your mind based on new information. New information provides new thoughts build new behaviors, and new behaviors build a new life. It's very simple, but it's not when you believe in a bunch of mythology. So, if you want to know more about this, go to thefreedommodel.org, thefreedommodel.org, or soberforever.net. Either of those two websites. You can get our book for free at thefreedommodel.org and use coupon code FREEDOM100. And if you want to give us a call, call Danny Wyke, my colleague, at 888-424-2626. All right, let's take care of this addiction issue, and we can show you how to move on in your life. All right, take care.